to $4,152. How do you enter the Sunny Bay 15th Anniversary Contest for better health? Easy. Just click sunny-bay.com. No purchase necessary. Remember, there will be weekly drawings. Yes, it's our 15th anniversary, and it's your chance to win in Sunny Bay's 15th Anniversary Contest for better health. For complete contest rules and prize values, visit sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
If you've not checked the savings at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, by all means check out this week's ad for further markdowns all over this store. Examples, crepe myrtles in white or pink, now just $4.99. Big number 7 size crepe myrtles, including those exotic colors, not $169, just $99.99 as long as they last. And do they have roses? A new selection of Easy Care, Knockout, and Drift roses starting as low as $19.99. And listen, if you need to fill in your shrubbery garden, Bob Wines is having a mix or match, buy one, get one free event that you shouldn't miss. Now go ahead, check out this week's ad at bobwinescameliagardens.net. Then hurry on over to this 5-acre garden superstore on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place for going on 70 years.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to the Ocala Talk on a Thursday. Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health Rehabilitation Center, and Just Ship Galen. I saw this story come across the wire, and I thought, it's really what's wrong with the world in a nutshell, with the 20-somethings. And I know that you would have an opinion on this. The U.S. sailor has been named. Remember last summer when the Bonham Richard caught on fire in San Diego while it was docked?
Really pissed me off.
It burned for 4 days. Dozens of people were injured.
Yeah.
It caused so much damage.
Correct.
That the Navy scrapped the Bonham Richard instead of repairing it. It was so bad. Now the Navy has it has come out that the Ryan Sawyer Mays is the person that has been indicted for it. He's a 20-year-old seaman. First off, what rank is seaman? Is that like private first class?
No. He's a seaman apprentice.
Okay.
So he's an E2, which means he's been in the Navy
He's a specialist.
less than a year. No. He's at the bottom of the food chain.
Oh, he's at the bottom of the food chain.
E2 is the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been in the Navy less than a year.
Well,
right, because you get the E2 in 9 months, no matter what you do.
Right.
Well, you don't even have to qualify. It's just.
Well, according to an affidavit filed, investigators believe the fire was a result of arson. They believe that he was the one. It shows him standing near what appears to be a sleeping berth on a ship with the caption, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." That was from a reference from Apocalypse Now. A sailor told investigators in a questionnaire after the fire that he saw a light-skinned male wearing a face mask going in the lower V where the fire was started. And it seems like this is where I have a problem. I got a problem with all this arson, setting a boat on fire, ship on fire, and everything, endangering lives. But now the reasoning comes out, or it looks like it comes out. It's alleged that he did all this because he failed out of SEAL candidate school. He failed at SEAL candidate thing, and he hated the Navy. So this is one of those, I applied to be a SEAL. I mean, everybody gets a trophy. Where the hell's my trophy? Oh, you didn't give me a trophy? I'll burn up your boat.
Well, yeah, I mean, this really upset me on several.
Not everybody can be a SEAL, Galen. Not everybody can qualify.
Well, but he didn't, and the reason he was upset is he didn't get invited to SEAL school.
Right.
Because he didn't qualify, right? He didn't pass the pre-qualifications. There's a lot of people, by the way, who wash out of SEAL school, or a SEAL school. That is not a big deal. It really isn't. You can come back. I had a guy who was in my berthing. He went to SEAL school, failed, and he was a badass, right? Nobody on the boat questioned his toughness. He just didn't make. He just wasn't SEAL.
Well, this guy didn't even make SEAL school. He just didn't get selected because he didn't qualify to even make the school.
Very few people get selected their first time. That's not uncommon. And what bothers me is the guy had been in the Navy less than a year, unless he went to court-martial and lost a rank. And what we don't know.
No, he joined the Navy. He joined the Navy in the fall of 2019. He set the boat in August of 2019. He set the boat. He allegedly set the boat on fire June 14th. So he set the boat on fire. He had not even been. He had 10 months in, and 3 months of that is basic training.
Well, absolutely. Again, he went to. He had to go to seaman school, so that means he was probably on the boat less than a month. And again, to put your shipmates at risk like that, it just kind of blows my mind. I mean, I had some guys on my boat who lost it, right? I mean, we were out at sea one time. We didn't see port for 6 months.
Right.
Right? I mean, we're in the middle of a war. You don't know what's going on. These boats are coming at you. I mean, people have gone a little stir-crazy. But never once did one of my shipmates want to hurt the entire boat. Were there fights on the boat? Very, very rarely. But you never, ever wanted to put the whole crew at risk. That's the part that gets.
This fire burned for 4 days. This fire burned for 4 days.
There's definitely a chemical that was involved. I mean, I've read everything that I can on it, and it's just it just destroys me.
Several incendiary.
He's still one of my shipmates.
Yeah, several
incendiary. To one of our boats.
Several incendiary bottles with incendiary liquid were found near the site where the fire started. Had small amounts of liquid in them. The liquid in one of those bottles was identified by testing as a flammable substance akin to kerosene or jet fuel.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, and we're not talking about a small ship.
There's a lot of jet fuel on a boat.
We're not talking about a small ship.
No. It's an amphibious carrier, so it carries helicopters and Harrier jets. And
it's an amphibious assault ship. It's an aircraft carrier.
Yep. It's a little smaller than an aircraft carrier. So if you're going to look at it in size, it's obviously bigger than a guided missile cruiser, but smaller than a carrier. It's a big ship.
Now I read this story, and somebody in this story said It's a small version of an aircraft carrier, but if you want to know about the size,
Correct.
It's a flat top about the size of a battleship.
That's correct. It's a little it's wider than yeah.
But lengthwise about a battleship.
It's a big boat.
Right.
And again, I'm just amazed that you would want to hurt one of your shipmates like that. I told my wife, I said, this is disgusting.
2,900 people on this boat.
I will tell you this, that he'll end up in isolation for the rest of his life. The UCMJ is very, very clear on this. He could get the death penalty. I am sure that with this current administration, he just may walk away scot-free. But I do know that when I served, my Secretary of Defense would have had him hung. You can still hang people in the military according to UCMJ. Nobody's done it, but that to me is a hangable offense.
Tell me what you think
then
about.
Again, I thought that what Bergdahl did was a hangable offense.
Think about what you think about this. He joined the Navy in actually the spring of 2019. He applied for the SEAL selection process in October of 2019. So he's only been in the Navy 5.5 months, and he applies for SEAL school.
Right.
He did not get
he did
selected.
It while he was in what's called an A school.
Right. He did not get selected. After 5 days, he's out of the SEAL process. So it didn't take him long to know he wasn't SEAL material. 5 days. He was then reassigned to the USS Bonham Richard as an undesignated seaman.
That's correct. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
by the way, very.
Navy SEALs, the Marines say we need a few good men. The Navy SEALs we need a very select 1%er of men and women.
But again, there are very, very, I don't know of any SEALs that go to SEAL school right after boot camp or A school, right? You got to go to your seaman apprentice. You got to go to your seamanship school, where you learn how to basically put out fires and do whatever job you're doing. But I don't know of any SEALs that end up going right out of school. You usually go to the fleet, and they like older, more mature sailors.
Yeah, they want somebody. They want somebody. Usually, I had a buddy that he is about to retire from the Navy, but he was one of the things he did for 8 years. He was assigned as a SEAL, and he didn't even apply till he was his second re-up. His first re-up, he just was a Navyman. He didn't even apply to SEAL candidate school till he was in his second, till he had re-upped for, after his first 6-year commitment. He re-upped, and that's how he ended up in naval school. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Yeah, a historical parallel. Timothy McVeigh had failed out of Army Ranger school, and that's apparently what set him off. I thought I would point that out, and have a good morning.
All right, thanks. We lost Galen. I forgot that we were using the front line. So, Galen, give us a call back. Jim, I brought Jim on and erroneously should not have done that. Galen, give me a call back on the 622-9622 number. We're talking about a Navy man who has been charged with setting a boat on fire that had 2,900 naval personnel on it. Set the bottom of the ship on fire, and it burned for 4 days. And there are parallels to Galen, to Timothy McVeigh, who was a disgruntled military guy who didn't trust the government and who thought that they had murdered the Branch Davidians in Waco, and so he went and blew up the Murrow building. And once again, I've used the word coward twice in a week, but that's cowardly.
Well, you're definitely, there's no doubt. One key difference. McVeigh thought he was punishing the government.
Right.
This guy was killing the shipmates.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if you heard me, but I'm not pro-death penalty, But I am pro this guy being executed. If he did what he's accused of, he deserves to die. I'm sorry. Because if you can't trust the guy next to you, and you're going to war, right? The Navy and every other military branch, whatever anybody else tells you, they are trained to go and kill the enemy. And if you can't count on that guy next to you, he needs to go away, and this guy needs to die.
You know, here's the thing.
He ruined that trust throughout the entire fleet. He ruined that trust.
And here with this story, just this story, this is why the media has such a bad name. One of the bad names is two different media stories on this, on the same, that I looked up. One says that he was applied to Naval SEAL School, didn't get in, got angry, hated the Navy. Another one goes, sailor charged in fire was Navy SEAL dropout. He was never in the Navy SEAL class. He applied and they said no. It just shows you how the media can just skew things. It's the first lines go, the sailor charged with starting the fire that destroyed the Bonhomme Richard was assigned to ship after dropping out of training to become a Navy SEAL. That's not an accurate portrayal of what happened. He never got into Navy SEAL school. They said no to his application.
Right. I just, it floors me.
It's an 840 foot vessel. That's not a small ship.
No, not at all. It burned. I mean, it just burned.
And you know what it cost you? You know what it cost the U.S. taxpayers?
Sure it does. Yeah.
$4 billion. It's a $4 billion loss to the U.S. taxpayer.
Deserves to die. I'm sorry. He deserves to die.
Hanging by neck until dead. Hanging by neck until dead.
Yeah. The good thing about the military is this will not be a court case that will be heard on national TV.
No.
There's really only two things that can save him. One, if they deem him crazy, which is really difficult to prove only 9 months after joining, right? Because when you join, you go through all these cognitive tests, right? So the mental thing, I doubt saves him. The other thing is this administration, this Secretary of Defense, his focus is on so many things other than fighting the enemy. It's unbelievable. That's the only thing with two things that can save. Because guess what? What saved Bergdahl was Obama, right? I mean, here's a guy who basically left. He abandoned his post, went and joined the enemy, and said, "Oh, this isn't working out at all. I need to go back."
Here's another problem.
And then how many people died searching for Bergdahl?
For Shannon, Bergdahl, yeah. He went AWOL and then went, that may not be the smartest move. And the people
he got kidnapped, right? And then we had to go and save him
because he left his post.
Three of his 4 other soldiers died, and now this guy just, it's fine.
Well, here's the only problem. Here's the only problem I see the government having. The bottles that were recovered for the scene were tagged as part of the crime scene by NCIS. Yes, there is actually a Naval Criminal Investigation Services. Sure. Just like it's not Mark Harmon and they don't solve crimes in an hour, but there is one. And they tagged them. Well, 2 of the 5 bottles that they tagged went missing and they still haven't found them. DNA tests were done on the tape that was on the missing, that was the tape that was on the bottles. All the bottles had tapes on them labeling what they were. None of the DNA on the tape registered back to Mays, who was charged with this. And he says that he was in a hangar bay when he became aware of the fire, and he assisted firefighters, alerting at least one crew member to the threat of the fire, and eventually helped fight the fire. So, in this day and age, in a public court appears, you don't have no DNA, it's going to be hard to prove. But like you said, a military tribunal is a different situation than a public courtroom.
Sure. And again, he'll get a fair trial. I want to be very clear about that. He'll get a fair trial. But they, by the way, they don't even have to find him guilty. They can just kind of hold him forever. They can treat him as a terrorist if they think so, and they can send him to Gitmo.
They had to use helicopters to drop water on this boat to try to put the fire out.
I saw I was watching it burn, and I texted a guy I served in the Navy with, and he went on to become a Master Chief. And I said, what is burning for that long that they couldn't seal off? And he said, and this is like day 2. He goes, man, there's something there. He said this is a terrorist act. And I was like, I don't know. That's insane. That seems fishy. It's in one of our own ports. But it was just by one of our own sailors.
And it looks like, by all reasons, that he had not gotten approved for Navy SEAL school. And wait, there's more. He says that he had just broke off an engagement broke off where his fiancée was pregnant. But when he gave the name of the naval member who was the female who was engaged to and was pregnant, she can prove and has proved to investigators she's never been pregnant, and there was no engagement. They went out on like 3 dates. So this is a guy who has grandiose ideals about his life. He's a Navy SEAL engaged to a pregnant woman, but really he didn't even get accepted in the Navy SEAL school. He dated a woman 3 times, and she was never pregnant.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, that says narcissist to me.
Crazy.
That's what that says to me, narcissist.
I just don't. I just can't get. I love my ship. It's hard to believe somebody would burn one.
I knew when I saw this story. I was like, I knew when I saw this story. I go, Galen knows about this story, and he has an opinion. I promise you. So that's why I brought it up.
Well, you sweat for that boat. That boat keeps you alive, right? That boat is your home.
It's its own community. It's your own community.
It's your whole world. And the fact that the guy's sleeping 2 feet from you would burn you while you're in your home is unfathomable to me. I still dream about my shit.
At the time of the fire, there was only 160 people on board. Only 160 people on board. They were on R&R, so there were only 160 people on board of the 840-foot boat. And it was undergoing a 2-year, $250 million. It was been docked at Naval Base San Diego because it was undergoing a 2-year, $250 million upgrade. So they weren't even going out for 2 years. He was getting to live in San Diego. San Diego's a cool town. It's a cool town to live in.
I did that. By the way, the last 6 months of my service, we were in dry dock in San Diego. And you can make an argument it was the best time of my life. You work like a civilian. You work 8 to 3.
Once
again. You work 8 to 3.
Once again, you were big balling, shot calling, 20-inch blades on the Impala.
We had I will tell this story. So I came from the Philippines. I lived in another country. Basically, my entire adult life up until that point. You don't know how to function when you come back to the world. And I remember there were 4 guys who rented an apartment. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, I'm just going to stay here. They couldn't handle not sleeping in a boat. And so they hated living off base. And so it ended up me being, and I never had to pay a bit of rent. But I stayed in this house in Mission Beach. And it was a 2-bedroom, and there's supposed to be 4 people in there. It was just me and another guy. It was fantastic.
Living the high life. High life. You were what, 22, 23?
Sunset Cliffs.
You were what, 22?
No, I was 21.
21.
I hadn't turned 22 yet. So I was 21.
San Diego State was right there and everything.
Every day. At CSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Moondoggies every night. I saw a live and concert 5 times. I had a beer with Marshall Falk in Moondoggies. And it's called Moondoggies.
Right.
Great little bar.
Yeah, when you said Moondoggies, didn't you mean Boondoggies? Because we went, my fraternity brother Larry Panicali, I flew out to meet him in San Francisco because he was getting a Saab 4000 diesel from his brother. And we're going to drive it back across country. So I flew out there, and we stayed in fraternity houses in California and Arizona and Texas, coming back across the country. And we were going to stay one night everywhere we stopped. we stayed at SDSU we were there for 5 days.
Great.
And we didn't have to pay for anything because we were fraternity brothers from over on the East Coast. All the guys were like, cool, and they paid for everything. We didn't pay for anything when we went out and everything, went to boondoggies and everything, paid for nothing. San Diego was a fantastic town. Went surfing in Imperial Beach. It was a fantastic town.
Yeah, it's I would have never left San Diego if my mom said, look, I got accepted to 2 schools, San Diego State, because they accepted everybody, and Flagler. And my mom said, if you come back to Flagler, I'll pay all of your tuition.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Because I had that.
San Diego, see you in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer.
No.
But, it was fantastic.
I did learn while I was in San Diego. You drive to the border and park and walk into Tijuana. You do not drive into
Absolutely
Tijuana.
Correct. No.
You walk into Tijuana.
So in all those things, if you're in the United States Navy in San Diego, why would you want to destroy your ship? It's unfathomable. It's the weather is perfect in San Diego. It never rains.
It's 80 degrees. It's between 75 and 85 with the wind, a nice breeze every day.
At night, it gets into the high 60s. It's incredible. You can, in an hour, you can go from surfing in the Pacific Ocean to skiing down a mountain.
Yes.
What is your mindset, young man?
And by the way, boat was in dry dock. It was 3 months into a 2-year stint in dry dock. So he was in San Diego living the high life for the next 2 years.
Sure. Well, you're working your butt off. The boat's in dry dock, but the people who work on it are the sailors who are
yeah, but you're working 8 to 3. You're still working. You're not working.
Yeah.
It's not like you're out on the boat.
No, you're in coveralls and you're literally chipping and painting. You're mostly chipping. Yeah, they don't allow you to paint for quite some time, but I mean, I remember when I left my boat, I was like, I'm going to miss that.
Hey, Galen, so
how would you destroy it? They're beautiful.
I got nothing.
If you've ever seen a ship, a United States Navy ship underway at full sail,
it's beautiful.
Why would you want to destroy such a beautiful thing?
Hey,
unbelievable.
Speaking of beautiful things, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today, we're actually at the Walmart right back in the shores, so come by and see us. But as always, we're right there on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard, and Life South is very proud to support. We supply 7 different VA facilities throughout the Southeast, and that's something we're extremely proud of.
Galen, watch out for us.
Give blood.
Watch out for sumo wrestlers today. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye.
See it. Galen Newdoff from Life South. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch Headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spear.